Hi everyone, Inat Kessler here with a new video tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to make a mixed media nature canvas with a tree branch that I found. So I found this tree branch one day and I really fell in love with it. It's beautiful. It's a tree branch, but it looks like a tree, like a miniature tree, and I'm going to use this in my canvas today. So for my background, this is a 12 by 12. I know I said I'll do small canvases, but I just couldn't resist. So what I'm going to do is just tear a plain piece of paper to create sort of a mask to start creating my spray background. So first I'm starting with the very dark green, and what I'm going to do is create layers of sprays with my handmade stencil or mask here. That is going to, this paper is going to help me create that layering effect that would look like a field or piece of grass in nature. So that was the first layer. I've dried it more or less with my heat tool, and I'm just adding more and more spraying because I want to build this layering of colors on my background. So I'm going to move this mask and add more spraying. Now I'm doing this with the masks because I don't want to spray the whole canvas. I wanted the bottom part to be green, like a field. So I'm just using, it doesn't have to be very accurate. Just I don't want the colors to blend too much because I don't want to get one shade of green or mud. So this is why I'm doing this in parts. You see how it looks? That's the idea. So I'm using all kinds of green spray inks, and I'm just adding more and more layers, drying them in between. So once they're dry, they will not blend so much, especially if I'm just spraying and I don't mix them with any other, medium brush or baby wipe. So this is how it looks so far. I'm drying it again with my heat tool, and now I'm just going to work a little bit with a baby wipe because I want to add a little bit of green around the edges. So I'm just picking that green spray for my craft sheet with my baby wipe and just rubbing it on the edges. It's not as vibrant, strong green as is on the canvas, but it's still not white. So that would create an illusion that our piece is also going over the edges. And since my baby wipe is kind of green, I can apply the excess and a little bit of green onto the canvas in those areas that I want. Spraying is not very accurate, so it's hard to just sort of draw or paint with it, and that's why I'm adding these strokes of baby wipe just in those little places that I want to add more color. So this is starting to look nice. Looks like fields of grass and plants. I like that. So I'm just going to add a few more squirts of green here and there. Very local, just as spots of color here and there. And the more you spray, the more layers you create, and that becomes more real looking. It looks not flat but textured and layered, and this is how nature looks, right? It's not one color of green and it's not one shape of green. It's all together mixed up. So this is the whole point of creating a background like this, only with sprays, by the way, because the reason I'm using sprays and not acrylic paints is that acrylic paints are less transparent. Even though you dilute them with water, they don't get that drippage and effect that spraying can get for you, like you see here. So plus they're more transparent. So I just wanted this background to be in the background and let the tree branch take front stage. So working with color sprays with spray inks was a perfect choice because they're always a little bit transparent and they give a very light effect, not a very strong effect. So I'm adding my yellows now, and again I don't want to get the colors mixed together or muddy, so I'm doing it in stages, and I'm using the other part, the other piece of the paper that we tore in the beginning, and a little bit of blending is okay. And I just got an idea while doing this. This looks like the sun. I wasn't planning on doing the sun, but since the spray turned out in a circle shape, that looks like the sun to me. So I'm spreading it a little bit with my baby wipe, and I'm gonna heat everything, dry it with my heat tool. And basically you can spray as many layers as you want until you're happy with the way it looks, and use as many colors as you want. You can use blues for the sky instead. That's not working. I just wanted this to be more of a sunset, vibrant colors. So I'm doing the reds and the oranges and the yellows. So dry everything again. This is how it looks so far. Gonna let it drip a little bit. Look how pretty that effect is. I love dripping. So I'm just drying everything and adding more color, more spraying. And I just want to bring another baby wipe, and now my the circle will be even clearer. So I love that. And I also like the effect that the watercolor creates, because they create little pools of paint, and when you dry them you get those sort of, it looks like stains, but I love that on the canvas. It gives it a very special look. And I'm going to use the same technique for the edges, just using the baby wipe with all that yellow and orange colors on it, just to go over the edges a little bit so they won't be too white. And I'm using, by the way, I'm using a 12 by 12 because I need this tree branch to fit, and I don't want to cut it or make it smaller because I think its shape is so perfect. It's almost like it blowing, the wind is blowing and it's going in the same direction, and it's absolutely beautiful. I can't believe I just found it like this. I didn't cut anything, nothing. This is the way I found it. So I'm using E6000 to attach it to my canvas, and I'm basically applying the glue only on the spot that really touches the canvas when I'm putting it, just laying it on the canvas, and this is so light that there is not going to be any problem for the glue to hold it in place. This is a very, very strong glue. Just let it dry and then it will not move. the other parts of the branch are just going to be unglued and just stay like this. So now everything is dry. I'm using a marker by Uni marker by Posca, and I love these ones. And I'm just going to write. These are really cool markers. They write on everything, and I'm just gonna write with it my inspirational sentence, which is going to read, "You can't fall if you don't climb, but there is no joy in living your life on the ground," meaning you must climb. Otherwise, you will have a very boring life, right? So I really like this sentence, and it's perfect for my tree. And I'm just gonna go over the letters again. The first part of the sentence. It's very easy to write with this marker. You know, I sometimes like to use a pen nib, but today I felt like using a marker. Have to diversify, right? So this is the canvas ready. It's very fast to create it, but the effect is amazing, beautiful, and my tree branch is taking center stage. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell icon to be notified when I upload a new video, so you won't miss anything and you'll be able to follow all the tutorials. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time.